Hello, welcome to the What Would Dom Do show. Today we have a special episode. We've had some people ask in store about how we brew siphon coffee. Now, this is something that's really passionate to me because I lived in Japan for 4 years, and this is where I actually got this Hario siphon brewer, and I particularly love the magical element that a siphon coffee can deliver.
Oh my goodness.
Now there's something very special because what's actually happening is that there's water in the bottom chamber here, it rises to the top, and then we change the vacuum pressure and it sucks the water back down through the coffee, which will be up the top here, and it draws this amazing sweetness out of the coffee, and it's really, really special. I think that the best filters to use for siphons are the paper filters, and that's because the cloth filters that come with the unit standard are really difficult to clean. Whilst in busy Japanese coffee shops they're a really good option and they get cleaned daily, in your home I would really encourage using just the paper filters like what we have here. So after seating this filter, you just drop it into this top chamber and then pulling it down. Now in Japan, the guys are really pedantic about where the filter is sitting inside, and you'll see them often poking away and getting that really set in there nice and tight, and that really creates a really good filter and a really, really clean cup of coffee. So at this point we put in 250 mils of water. I like to use water that's already been heated. Now there's a reason for that. Number one is that it's quicker to brew the siphon, and also I personally like a good fast cup of coffee. So I'm just going to use this gas burner, opening up the gas and turning that on full. At this stage, what I'm going to do is place the bowl into the top, and now it's a waiting game. So what we're doing right now is we're heating up the siphon, making sure that all the surfaces are hot, so that really enables us to brew a good cup of coffee. Also, we're washing the paper filter. So what we do at this point is turn the heat off and removing the heat. So a little trick that I learned in Japan is to grab a wet chucks and wrap the bottom bowl, and it really forces, ooh, that's hot. Oopsies. And as you can see, that really forced the water to come back to the bottom chamber extremely fast. That's going to be critical when we go to brew our coffee, because what we want to do is control the brewing time, something which is really quite difficult in a siphon brewing style. So you want to start the brewing when the water is at the precise temperature, which is why I've brought a thermometer, and also you want to cease the brewing after a specific amount of time, so always use a timer. Okay, so now we've done our rinse of the paper filter and heated up both the brewing bowl and the top part of the siphon. So if you just remove it nice and easily, so just by removing the top section, placing that down, and now what I will do with this hot water is preheat the cup that I'm about to drink from. And then we put fresh water in to brew with. Once again, turning our gas on, placing our chamber in, and always gauging the temperature. So even from the first moments that we place our heat source under the water, you can see that some water is starting to permeate the filter. So this is a pitfall that most people fall into, where they put their coffee in straight away and it's not at the appropriate brewing temperature, and that's critical to brewing siphon. We want to be at 94 to 95 degrees for optimal results. So checking the water temperature, right now we are at 87 degrees. So we still have, even though all the water is in the top section, another 7 degrees to go before we're ready to brew. So most people will put their coffee in the top section right now. So that's one of the biggest pitfalls about brewing siphon. Still at 91 degrees. Okay, now we're ready to brew. So using a timer, coffee's in. Using the standard white horse coffee method, north, south, east, and west. And we're at 18 seconds currently. So we're going to leave the coffee brewing for a minute, and then we're going to take the heat off. And when we take the heat off, we're going to use a wet chucks, wrap it to stop the brewing immediately. That's perfect. So once again, using wet chucks and a cloth, you want to stop that brewing and get all of that vacuum to occur. So it's a controlled vacuum. And that is a classic Japanese method, as taught to me by the guys from the Hibiya Coffee Company. I was very lucky to see the 2005 Japanese Siphon Championships, which was pretty special. So now you can see we've got a nice, clean, dry coffee puck in the top section, and all of our coffee is filtered and ready to be enjoyed. Now in Japan, they would commonly just take the entire brewer to the table, often carrying 3 or 4 of them, the waiters, with a few cups in the other hand, place it down on the table and invite you to drink the coffee. I like to test the aroma and enjoy it. It really is magical, the aromas that come off the siphon. I find it really interesting how you can brew the same coffee on a V60 or a French press or an AeroPress, that nothing compares to the elegance and sweetness that you can achieve from the siphon. It is probably tenfold the amount of effort that you have to put into brewing a coffee like this, but the rewards are there if you have the time. Thank you for watching this very special episode of What Would Dom Do, and I hope you guys go out there and brew lots of coffee. Swoga.